Here's a Beyond the Pitch podcast quick hit from the WVSA Digital Network.
So in our profession, couple of the things that I think are really important before we go out and do an explosive sport that sometimes get ignored. Well, first of all, there's a common misconception. A lot of people go straight out and they start stretching right away. You'll see people bend over or stretching their hamstrings or stretching their, hip flexors or just really pulling and tugging on those things. And we've really gotten away from some of the static stretching before exercise, especially explosive exercise, a while ago. But, some people are not informed. They're not quite educated on that. And so they're still doing that. We've moved toward what we call muscle activations. And I'm sure people are familiar with the term dynamic warm-ups. And what dynamic warm-ups do, they start at what we call muscle fiber recruitment. And they really prime our neurological, so our nervous system for explosive movement. They get those muscles ready. All of these muscle fibers that are inside of our muscles, when we're just walking around, they're not quite turned on. You have to put them through progressive low-grade stresses before everything in that muscle is primed and ready to go. So, and there's a variety of different types of muscle activations that you can do in different types. I mean, there's a million different dynamic warm-ups, and they're all great. These things you can look up anywhere on the net. I give these out to athletes that I know all the time to help them get ready. Of course, making sure that you are eating properly. I think people sometimes they hear that and they take it for granted, but again, it can't be overstated. Hydration and your nutrition, especially for older athletes, there's a couple of studies out there. 20 to 25 grams of protein in the morning really helps us get our metabolism started, and can sort of help us get ready for some of these rigors physically. So that's another great tip you can do before a match also. But I'd suggest, keeping your joints mobilized, looking into dynamic warm-up and muscle activation, and getting yourself a good routine, and, of course, that nutritional component.